What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the TSF Entertainment channel. I'm your boy Ritual CG, joined by Jack of Jordans.
What's good?
Joined by our other host, Juggernaut of Souls.
First off, he didn't even do this. He didn't even do this introduction right. Let me do it. Cause he over here just like, hello everyone. How you doing?
Well, provided by the fact that you were in your phone the whole time, you didn't seem like you were ready to start anyway.
I let you do your thing, man. I was trying to get our stuff together.
Get him.
And of course, we have Miss Really Be TV in the house. Now, Marvin, if you feel so
can you get a VIP, please?
better
Lack of energy on this chat, please.
If you are compelled to give us a better intro, then have at it, part-timer.
Thank you.
Boy, yours.
Thank you.
Part-timer.
What's good, TSF Entertainment Podcast? It's your boy, the Juggernaut of Souls, and I am back with the TSF fam. Really Be TV, Jack of Jordans, and Retro CG. What's good, fam? First off, let me say congratulations and thank you to all our subscribers. We have hit 1K.
Yeah.
I will drink to that. But what's
I
good?
would drink to that too.
Me too.
Oh, I have water.
You have water? What?
I guess I'll drink to that too.
Welcome back,
Water
Jonathan.
on this chat.
Oh well.
Yeah, you know, water is not allowed on this chat. All right, so tonight we're here to talk about P-Valley Season 2, Episode 8, The Death Drop. Okay, first thoughts.
Not my favorite episode.
Agreed.
I'm gonna say some things were depressing with it, but I also will say that with this episode, I kind of got the vibes of woman empowerment.
I'm gonna tell you what I did. It was, to me, it was good.
Women heavily flexing muscle in this episode.
I think it was some stuff that's unbelievable. But we'll get to that when we get to that, because maybe somebody in the chat room can help me understand it when we get to that. But other than that, overall, I think it was a decent episode. Wasn't one of my favorite, but I think it was a decent episode.
I think this is the first episode that I can
have
perspective.
But just got suspended.
Yeah, but I do agree with that. Like, they probably would have needed more episodes, but key characters, you probably could have gave Clifford, you probably could have gave Mercedes, Mississippi, like they did, and maybe Autumn, because I mean she has the darkest. For me, she has the darkest past.
I think the only reason why they gave us a whole backstory episode for Mississippi was because of the abuse, and I think it was important to the story, since it's such a big part of the story regarding the abuse, that we see how she became so enamored with Derek. With the rest of the characters, we are getting the backstories with them, but they're more so in many little flashbacks. They're more so in present day conversation. It's just like when Uncle Clifford was talking with his mother in this episode. We got a lot of backstory in regards to his character and his relationship with his mother, and what it is that he's battling with. It's more so it's the same thing that we're seeing with Mercedes, is the inner guilt. So he has inner guilt that is just taking over him right now, because he feels like, I can't lose this club because this has been in my family for life, and it's going to be the one that I lose. I'm the one that's going to lose it on my watch. So
they took the channel. They took the video.
Our stream got suspended.
Oh, probably because because I'm playing the episode.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. I didn't want to cut you off, but that's what I was trying to say. We can't play the video.
All right, we're good. It's probably still going on Twitch. I know it's going on Twitch. But the biggest thing about that is I do feel like we are getting more of the characters' backstory. Is just not being broken down in the whole episode, which I don't necessarily want to see a whole episode about Autumn. I mean, we've seen enough about her from the previous season And even now, where we got a gist of where she's at. We know that she was an orphan. We know that she took up refuge with Montavious because she really didn't have nowhere else to go. We know that she worked in corporate. So it's probably best that we don't get a whole episode just about her. I mean,
Also, if we get all of her story, what's left? Like a lot of what we're still dealing with is the mystery behind Autumn.
Yeah.
that is true. That is true.
Yeah. And most of it is built, well, I can say most of it, but a lot of it is built around, nice portion of it is built around what Autumn got going on. I like to see it, but I don't mind seeing it in bits and pieces and chopped up.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be chopped
the backstory.
Right. I like the backstories. I think that this whole episode was, pretty good, especially given the fact that I kind of felt like some of the stuff was just like, man, it's disappointing. But at the same time, this episode was more so woman empowering. Like you had Autumn with Georgie and they were discussing stuff. You had pretty much Mississippi trying to take a hold of her life and get out the clutches of Derek. You had a lot that was just showing how strong the women of this episode and of this actual TV show, how strong they are.
Oh, Dominique. Oh man, you just answered a question for me and with a great theory, because I even asked about this last week's review. I really wish they would have explained to us how Uncle Clifford's mom passed, and that I never thought about that.
That's good. That's a good one. That's a real good one.
That is a good one. What if she was the maid?
Could have been.
They've never talked about whose Corbin mama is.
Facts. That's what I was just about to say too.
What if she was the maid?
Because we know Corbin is the bastard, like a bastard child.
Yeah.
For the most part.
But you know what? I think they leave things open-ended like that for us because depending on how many seasons they get on a show, they can come back and pull some of this stuff together in later seasons. They need to have story to develop. So I think we'll find out maybe next season what happened to her. And I definitely, even if it wasn't by Corbin's daddy, I definitely think it had something to do with that club. Maybe she was turning tricks. Maybe she got a bad trick or something. That's a good one, Dominic. I really like that.
Jonathan, I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't think we're gonna get all the Autumn story in season 3. I think it's just gonna be bits and pieces, kind of just chopped up in there, kind of just dropped off, in there and build this character up. They're just gonna slowly build this character up because she's, one of the main characters. So one of them things is gonna have to last for a while.
What do we feel like is missing from Autumn's story?
I mean, how much do we know about her and Montavious? How much do we know about her?
I think we learned enough about that last season when we knew that he was running with that gang. Basically, they were pulling licks together with this money, and we knew that they were in a relationship. He took her and her child in, and he was somewhat abusive towards her or whatever. I think we learned enough about that to understand why she felt the need to kill him.
I think the visual is just not there, and I think that's where some of the pieces are missing because we got the whole visual with Mississippi. We didn't get the visual with Autumn. Yeah, we saw Mississippi in high school, meeting Derek and getting pregnant in the first time and the prom and the backstory with the family that her father was. It
would be dope to see an Autumn backstory, like for real.
I think that we got enough of it, but the problem is in season 1 they spreaded it out through multiple episodes through her flashbacks. Remember, she had the flashback of her dancing for him. We saw the flashback of him attacking her in the kitchen. We saw the flashback of her of him minding the baby.
We saw the flashback of her the drowning too.
Yeah, we saw
who's baby daddy Xavier. Who's baby daddy for Autumn's baby father?
Unknown.
We don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like it's still bits and pieces of this
because
story.
the way they wrote it was that she came to them because remember he told Mercedes that night he had her yemmed up in the Paradise Room that I took Autumn and her child in to my life, and that's when he made that comment about she's an easy bitch to love and an easier bitch to hate. So maybe that's definitely a missing element right there. Who's the child's father?
Right.
Raven, you don't like Autumn either? How dare you? How dare
Raven
you?
good people. Raven good people.
How
I
dare you?
Right.
I need them to pick a direction for Autumn because they keep changing her character every other episode. One minute she's this bad
Keyshawn.
bitch. The
One
next
minute she's the hero, next minute she's the villain.
Yeah, 1 minute she's Batgirl. She's Batgirl 1 minute, and then the next minute she's Catwoman.
I like her. I like it.
Side she's on.
I like it.
Go for go.
The only thing I want to know now is if the baby's alive. I don't really care about. Honestly, I agree with you. I feel like we gotten everything we need to get out of Autumn. At this point, all I want to know is if the baby's alive or not.
Right.
That's it.
Right. And that will probably reveal a lot of other stuff that we probably have questions about. Should the child be alive? Mississippi is at home washing dishes, and Derek comes in with a gift for her, and I'm sure all four of us and everyone else in this chat has the same question that we all have: where he get money to go buy her a gift from?
Red bottoms at that.
Yeah, he bought a pair of red bottoms.
I mean, I know Nordstrom runs their sales, but they still running about $400-500.
Nah.
We know where he got the money from. My question isn't where he got the money from to buy the Louboutins. My question is, why aren't they spending the money to live better? Because we know she's making money. The question is, why aren't they living better?
Yeah, she walking around with Chanel bags and Birkins and Louis Vuittons, and y'all living in the hood with one car. 15-year-old
Like that's
Prius.
my thing. Like, why aren't y'all spending the money to live better? That's it.
You think you think it's a possibility that she might be stashing some of the money, or she ain't revealing all her money?
No, because he has control of everything.
Yeah, well, at the very least, they probably have a joint bank account.
I doubt it.
No, because remember when she paid for that Uber for Gidget to get back to Nashville, he called instantly after she paid for that Uber. He called instantly, so he has access to the money or whatever.
Yeah, I think he got access to everything, but I think it could be a possibility she may have been putting something.
That's what we were saying. We were wondering that night when she gave Rome that Louis bag with all the money in it. They had banded up from when she was dancing. Like we asked ourselves that question: did she give Rome all of the money,
Right.
or did she keep some of them stacks for herself? Hey, Miss Honey, welcome in.
Hey, Miss
Hi,
Honey.
you guys. Sorry I'm late.
Like, where the eyelash money going to? Like, so where? Like, so the eyelash
But I'm saying,
money.
all that's going to him.
You said it's going where?
It's going to him, but the question is, what is he doing with it?
So all the eyelash money, all the OnlyFans money, all the dancing money, all that money,
squandering it off you.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of money.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
undersized Louboutins cost a lot of money. Whether
Right,
they're the right size or the wrong size. He's spending all of the money she doesn't have.
But he's spending it on what though? She came in the first time around, and he was cooking glizzies on the stove. He was making hot dogs on the stove. So where the money going?
Stands for a bunch of stuff apparently. But anyway, why was he like, I want to buy her a car? I was just like, where
he got the money. I'm thinking he got some money. I think he probably got like a lot of money, but she got to be putting some. I'm hoping she putting some money up because where the rest of it ain't told her. That portion ain't adding up.
But that's the part. So it goes back to. But that goes back to the question you asked me at the beginning of this. Jack, was what about this episode that was frustrating me? And that's one of the things because you got to make them make sense. So at the beginning of the season, we saw that they had a whole OnlyFans room and she had 400,000 followers. Even if OnlyFans, even if they were only charging $1 per subscriber, and even if OnlyFans takes half of that, that means that she's bringing in over $100,000 a month. They shouldn't be living the way that they live in. Even if he's controlling the money, they still shouldn't be living the way they live in. Like he's still driving a 10-year-old Prius. They living in the hood. They shopping at Family Dollar. Like It don't make sense. But then you can buy. So him having the money isn't my question. My question is, why aren't they spending it? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe Derek saving it for his way out or for when she leave. Maybe that could be it.
Know.
Maybe Derek just stashed it for when she leave. Now he got all the money, so he can go do whatever he go do because he ain't got no job. He ain't got no means of income. So maybe he's just saving it for when he's preparing for her to leave, and he's gonna leave with the money. That's the only thing I can think of. Other than that, I have nothing.
It's a misstep. There's several missteps, but carry on.
I
heard you say you were. I heard you say you were frustrated with this episode. Is it because of the discrepancies that you're frustrated, or
there were things that just didn't add up for me that I was like, okay, now is this just bad writing, or do y'all again? It goes back to my question sometimes with Power. Is it bad writing, or did y'all really just overlook this? And to me, and honestly, this is something I've had a question about for the last couple of episodes as it relates to Mercedes. I get it. I get the whole, not Mercedes, Mississippi. I get the whole abuse storyline. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, at the beginning of the season, y'all have showed us Mississippi got more streams of income than anybody else on this show. She got eyelashes. She was on tour. She got an OnlyFans room. She had something else right. She got another product that she was pushing. They just shouldn't be living now. Again, if y'all show
Xavier got a good point though in the chat. He says they're not buying anything because Derek wants to be the one who is the provider. That could be very well true.
I get that, but if he has, and this is why I can relate to what really being saying is still if he has possession of the money, he's not doing anything with the money either.
That could be.
They don't live like they're making money. They live like they're struggling.
And again, I don't want to drag on the point, but that's just something that was frustrating me because it just doesn't make sense to me. Now, maybe other people, but to me, it just don't make no sense.
At best, he's probably just controlling the money and controlling how it's spent and when it's spent.
Right.
At best.
Yeah.
But not eating glizzies, not eating hot dogs.
I think this is showing his he was far more mental and unstable in this episode than all of them.
He's spiraling.
When he got the beat on his head, I'm like, oh, what the hell? Like, oh, bro, ain't good.
We all knew he had mental issues before.
Like, this is far beyond. This is far beyond domestic violence now. Like, this ain't it.
Well, we've been knew he had other issues beyond domestic violence from the other previous show episodes. He had daddy issues. He had issues with his parents. I think what we saw now is the aftermath that we probably don't see all the time after the fact that he didn't beat her. After, like, he's almost feeling like some type of here's the regret that he's feeling that we normally don't see after he beat on her. He go buy her
every once in a while. We see it every once in a while.
I'm not going to do it again. Now here's the shoes, or this, that, another, or tell me this is what you want. Yeah, sure. She got what she wanted. We get to that a little bit later. As far as scheming up on her plan. But he still needs to gain some type of control of that because that's just the way that he is. If he just let her go ahead and do whatever that she wants to do, he loses all control.
I think one of the biggest things go ahead, really.
No, all I was saying was he's spiraling because he's losing control, and that's dangerous. Because he feels like he's losing control, and that's going to make it very dangerous for Keyshawn. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
One of the things that I think that stays in the back of our mind in regards to Derek, that he's also been abused as well. Physically, and he's dealing with a lot of his personal issues. We see a lot of that with the characters. We're seeing a lot of it with Mercedes. We're seeing a lot of it with Uncle Clifford. We're now starting to see it with Little Murder. We saw it with Big T. They're dealing with their inner conflicts and how the others interact with them or how other people interact with them because of their inner conflict. We're starting to see that Derek is a broken person as well. Doesn't justify him beating the hell out of that girl and treating her the way he treats her. But at the end of the day, We're talking about a person who's been probably emotionally unstable for a long time now because he's never had closure for the abuse. He's never healed from it. So now all he's done is reciprocate it to his family. And so he's becoming increasingly dangerous at this point now because he's losing his mental stability.
Not
Because
to
when he
mention,
found out that them shoes didn't
That
fit
shit
her,
big.
that just tore his whole world apart.
not to mention retro, the fact that he also have mentioned in previous episodes that his family didn't approve of Keyshawn because she was black.
I think he been gone.
Yeah, no, he gone, bro. He out there.
I think he.
Which
think
is
he
probably
been gone.
another reason why he abuses her because he faults her for him being outcasted from the family.
Well, he said that though. He said, you know, I had this, I had that, and this and this and this. Now you get pregnant. The first time we had sex, he felt like she trapped him. That was in the episode where it kind of played to what Miss Mississippi became.
Could be. What was that said that? That it was. We saw Keyshawn hiding the money in the wall. Jonathan said they saw Keyshawn hiding the money in the wall. I know he meant Keyshawn. Well, hiding stuff in the wall or whatever. So it could be because there's just, I mean, like Crystal said, it's just way too much money to not account for them not to be living better. So somebody is doing something. Somebody has a hidden agenda of what's going on with this money. Somebody, I mean, all the royalties for the eyelashes and whatever other entities of businesses she got can't just be going to whatever company it is. Whether it's
I already
OnlyFans.
said that though, but why?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I was saying about Rome dying. Like,
it can't be.
Who's in charge of all your stuff? Who's in charge of all your business? Like, what's going on? Because it just seemed like she went into this dejected place and just never. I mean, like the last 2 or 3 episodes, she's looked like, you know. I mean, she hasn't.
But like she ain't got it. What she gonna do?
The thing of it is they gave her this whole episode, right? Which we enjoyed. So it leads us to believe that Keyshawn is going to have a big moment for our end of the season show. But she had a big moment last season too. It's just I just don't understand where they're going with it. They gave her a whole show when we could have talked about a myriad of other things. Where are they going with it? This character is, I don't know.
She gonna have a real big moment. It's gonna end up with her. It's gonna end up with Derek Brains on her lap.
I think she could get the same thing done with a pot of high grits, but okay, long as the same.
You been said get the high grits. The high grits is where it's at. You should have been just got the high grits.
Yeah, the end result is the same.
I don't think she gonna kill him at all. I think she's just gonna leave.
So either.
I think she's just gonna leave.
I don't.
He did his fried chicken.
Yeah.
No, I think it's gonna be somebody else to end.
He did his fried chicken. You hear me?
I think she's gonna pack the kids up in the dead of night and be gone. I don't think
he
that's
will
way
find her.
Too easy. That's way too easy. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, he will find her, and she knows that.
That's way
too
easy. This only ends one way. This ends one way. This ends one way.
With him dead.
That was heavy, really.
I think if anybody do it, it's gonna be Diamond though. It ain't gonna be nobody else.
Nah, it gotta be Keyshawn, and he's gonna end up where Montavious is at. Diamond might help her get rid of the body, but she's never gonna end up where Montavious at.
See?
I feel like
maybe it's Haley. Maybe it's Haley that does.
I think it's gonna be if it ain't gonna be Diamond, it's gonna be Autumn that's gonna do it.
It has to be Keyshawn.
I felt like this episode jumped the shark, and Keyshawn's storyline is a big reason why I feel like this episode jumped the shark.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm saying this episode yeah.
Really, be just disgusted with the whole episode.
I'm so shocked and excited.
It's not that I'm disgusted with the whole episode. It's just like I told y'all this before. I hate when shows play with my intelligence, and because I get caught up on logic and I get away from the story. So you had me just like last week. I think Miss Honey brought this up last week about the whole abortion storyline. Like, it was a great storyline. It was a great story, but there's nowhere in hell that would have really happened. Like Mercedes has no authority over that child. She can't sign nothing, and the girl was 14. So it's like, yeah, it was a great story, but it wouldn't have happened. Not in a legit establishment, it wouldn't have happened. So it's just little stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Sabrina, how you doing? It's just little stuff like that. And again, I get caught up in the minutia. Yeah, I get caught up in the minutia of logic and get away from the story. And so it's just like with the Pynk. All this money that y'all keep showing us week after week on the floor, people dancing, people swimming in money on the floor, and y'all still broke. Y'all still broke.
Well, at first I understood it because Uncle Clifford was in debt.
Right, but right now they started from zero though. They started from zero. Y'all had the car wash open. Y'all had the car wash open throughout the whole pandemic.
Still selling the Hennessy wings.
And now, I mean, you got people with their stimulus checks all over the floor, and y'all still broke. I don't make no sense.
But him and Haley walking around with Birkin bags every other day.
Well, they
ain't got no money. That's why they got no money. They spending on Birkin.
So I mean, but then again, because you see, okay, so they did the car wash thing. Not to get too far off track, but they did the car wash thing, and we see that Haley was like selling them or cash apping them the money. I'm not sure if that's what they was making a night or that's what they was making for a week. And I don't know if that was just divvying up. Like it just depends on how this. It just depends on how that's separated. However, Haley don't like. Besides the fact that she sleeps in the Pynk, Haley don't look like she got no money. You never see her when she looking like she ain't got no money. Uncle Clifford don't look like he ain't got no money. He walking around with Jordans on and talking about he can't fit the jukebox inside of his Birkin and riding around in old school Caprices on 24s.
I thought that was a deuce and a quarter. Was it a Caprice?
That was a Caprice Classic.
That was a Caprice Classic, yeah.
Oh.
Caprice Classic, sitting on them things. Definitely.
Well, he carpet on the dashboard. I was just like, this is the most oxymoronic. Anyway.
But I think we just getting like way deeper into it. Like really B said, like we just kind of escape the storyline and then just go over to logic. I try to like stay focused on the storyline. I get what you said, really, because I do it sometimes too. But I just try to stay focused on it because it's never going to make sense.
No,
never. It's never going to make sense.
I can't help it. I go down the bunny,
the rabbit
hole every time.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so we can get back. Like I said, I'm just saying when you say that's where my frustration was with this episode. That's all. That's all. And I guess because I don't know. But go ahead. We could go ahead. I don't want to get caught up too much off of it.
Really?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's when the writing is good and then they give me this, that's like, you know what I'm saying? It's where the expectation level is. That's all.
Welcome to my world, really.
So I feel like we're going to get on another rant here. At least me and really probably are. So Corbin is down here at the office with his brother, and they're exchanging words back and forth in regards to Corbin endorsing Andre for mayor. And then now they got Pastor Woodbine's looming threat of she's tailing them in the polls. So, and I get what Corbin's ultimately trying to do, but I have a real big issue with Corbin this season. I've said it over and over again. I just don't understand why he's so angry, and his approach to everyone is so combative and confrontational.
Is it because he mixed?
Corbin?
Because he's been treated that way his whole entire life.
Is it because he mixed?
And nobody takes
Please don't get me started on that mix.
There is a little bit of colorism that's involved with it.
I think that's part of it, though.
Nobody.
I think that's what we saw this whole episode when we deal with talking to him, is that everybody threw a dart at him, about him being mixed. Everybody just took that colorism part. Everybody just took that.
See, that's why I had to go ahead and upload my video so nobody would think I was repeating stuff that other people say.
He's the child to the outside basically, I'm the child out of wedlock, so nobody takes me serious.
They don't go as hard.
Your mom, your stepmother got stepped out on, basically, because that's not your mother. So there it is. Your mother was likely the maid or somebody out in Chucalissa.
It wouldn't matter if she was white because she's black or whoever. That's where the issue comes in.
There you go.
That's where the issue comes in. That she stepped out, he stepped out, whatever. But because he's
mixed, it was a black woman, right?
Well, the biggest thing is, and really has had to kind of answer this question for me off camera. Uh, it's really unclear how much money Corbin has, but we know that the brothers squandered all their money and they went through it. But I guess the answer to why Corbin still has so much money is he's doing his own farming. He's still farming out his cotton. You know, he's doing his own work. So he works in the fields to maintain the family's legacy or whatever. And that's what I feel like the same message that Corbin was trying to convey last season with his brothers on leasing the land instead of selling it is the same fight that Uncle Clifford is trying to fight for his club. He's trying to maintain his legacy. Corbin wants to maintain his legacy and is now in a position to do so because he ended up getting a leasing deal with Promised Land. So I just, for him to just be throwing around 10 stacks like that, I mean, how much money does Corbin be sitting on? Corbin must be sitting on a big bank that don't fold up.
Angela said his brother told him that he was a family secret. I mean, you keep hearing stuff like that your whole life.
Or the family mistake. He was his father's mistake. That's basically what he was telling him.
Right. You hear stuff like that your whole life. You got a disposition with everybody.
Yeah. But even when he approaches Autumn, though, he's so aggressive with her and he's so, you know, like ready to jump on the girl because she don't want to.
That's because he didn't get what he wanted, though.
He's a hateful person.
I mean, he was very aggressive with Andre too. Like,
yeah, he was very aggressive with Andre. Like, you would expect this when you're fronting the bill on someone's campaign. You should be prepared for whether they're honest with you or not. You should be prepared for the fact that something dirty is going to come out. You should counteract that. You know, so it's just like with Pastor Woodbine. She took her dirty laundry and she counteracted that. Y'all should have been prepared for that. A good campaign manager would have been already digging for those secrets himself.
But the thing about Woodbine never lied about her past.
That's
and everybody in town knew her past. And everybody in town knew her past too.
He lied about it. So that was the problem. And he already confronted him and said, listen, if you got any issues going on in your past, I need to know. Whether or not the whole world needed to know, he needed to know because he had already had his money. So he couldn't prepare for it because he didn't know. He should have told him, at least come up front with him and say, you know, I got this issue going on, how we should deal about that. If he could have been like, well, maybe speak to the advisor and we see how we can spread this out on people before people get to it. But he never told anything because he felt he was riding in on this wave of my father not being around and my uncle took care of me and all this other shit. When the reality is, your father was a murderous bastard.
I mean, but that don't matter. None of that matters. That's why I understand. None of it matters.
It could be that we just
any dirt on politics matters.
We just talked about
because look at where we are, though. Look at where we are in political climate. Like the time they spent on this was ridiculous because everybody knows you just call them alternative facts and move on. We spent a lot of time focused on this. It's 2 episodes left. Why are we talking about it? Especially since this is 2020, 2021. By this time that we've had 4 years of alternative facts that you can see it, you can hear it, you can taste it, you can smell it, but people tell you no, it's not true. Like it's and it's Chucalissa. Like whatever. It's whatever. What are we doing? What are we doing? What's happening? I don't know.
So VSOP, we actually kind of talked about that not too long ago. I do definitely feel like there is a secret that could be told where Uncle Clifford and Corbin, they have a very unusual relationship, even though they're at odds with each other right now, but they still seem to find solace in each other and they still seem to confide in each other and trust each other. Uncle Clifford gave Corbin good advice. He was like, well, you want to get rid of Woodbine, throw some money at her. You know, that's all she cares about is that money. And
right, facts.
Money. So
it's true.
Kind of going back to someone in the comments earlier mentioning thinking about Uncle Clifford's mom being killed by Corbin's dad. So there could be a bigger connection between the two of them than we are seeing. We had this hair salon with Miss Georgie, and she's getting her hair rolled up with Coke cans. That's old school right there.
That ain't country.
That's way old school right there.
That's old school country right there.
That's old school country right there.
Georgie funny.
Can you get your hair cut with flames? You can get your hair
Georgie's
cut
an
with
asshole.
fire
Right.
and get your hair rolled with Coke cans. Only in Chucalissa.
All the money, but she got Coke cans in her.
She's a
She
Southern
offered
belle.
$5 million for a building, but she got Coke cans in her hair.
She's a Southern belle.
Yeah, she threw a shot in there too, but that's not
That's
it.
what I'm saying. That
She
whole
did throw a little shot with her referendum. Yeah.
Yeah,
that whole
reparations.
scene,
Yeah. She threw a shot in there. I was like, oh,
She did. She delivered it. She delivered it.
that whole scene right there was like woman empowerment right there.
Well, one thing I like about Autumn is she doesn't submit to the fact that, one, she's black. She doesn't submit to the fact that she's a woman. She stands up to any opposition that is, just like she stands up to Corbin, just like she stood up to everyone else. She's going to let it be known that you're not going to back me down. So it makes me wonder if something ominous is going to happen to her or something bad is going to happen to her because, you know, she's standing and challenging everyone. She's challenging Corbin. She's challenges Lady. Like, you know, maybe you should take this $5 million and haul ass because, you know,
I like the interaction though. I like that dialogue between Georgie and Autumn. Besides the reparation part, I enjoyed it a lot.
But Autumn is being a little bit. She's holding on to a little false security. She thinks that her secret is buried and dead. She thinks that all her problems went away when Montavious, you know, went away. But that's not the case. These people sitting on large money, long money, and they want this casino. They want this casino so bad. You think they're not gonna go digging into your past and find out who you really are? Like, so Autumn, you might be at a crossroads here where you're not gonna get no money at all because these folks are going to extort you eventually. So, you know, maybe you need to take this little $5 million and get what you got and get on out the way because the longer you hold out for that 10 million, the more of a threat you're going to become. And eventually someone's going to want to neutralize that threat. So
Autumn's the smartest one out of all of them.
Facts. I agree with that.
She is. She's not emotionally involved. Okay. She's not emotionally tethered, not even to Andre. I mean, for goodness sake, she left him a $10,000 check.
and she gave him a $10,000 check.
That was, yeah. I mean, you don't have a place to stay, but you're writing a $10,000 check, like whatever. But
facts.
It's fine.
But that goes back to what Really B was talking about.
Yeah, but she's not emotionally. She can stand outside of the thing, and kind of move the players around in her own mind, and she's moving strategically. She goes.
I think she always feels like she's in control.
Well, I think she has to. She, you know, we learned a little bit more about Autumn. This is one of my frustrations with the sex scene from last episode. It wasn't the scene itself. It was just how pointless it was. It was so pointless when we have so many other fish to fry. Like, we could have still had tender moments there and moved on. We could learn a little bit more about Mercedes. We see Mercedes get comforted for the first time in 2 seasons. She gets some genuine comfort, you know, from someone. Someone says, "Hey, tell me what's going on with you. How do you feel?" We see, we learn. If Autumn didn't have these encounters with other people, we would learn nothing about Autumn. We learned that not only is Autumn an orphan, but we learned that, you know, she never knew her dad. She wonders about it, you know, when she tells, when she has a conversation with Andre. This is how we're learning about the Autumn character. It's no wonder that people are so distant from her and so unattached from her because we don't know anything about her. We still don't know for sure if Autumn's baby is really dead. Mercedes.
We had this conversation right before you got over because I was like,
Mercedes is carrying the weight of shooting Montavious. Autumn is not even affected by Montavious being dead. She is smarter than all of them in terms of she's disconnected. And because she's disconnected, she's moving straight to business.
Autumn don't plan on staying around that long, so probably why she ever got a place anything is not committed to no lease or No, she planning on getting this money, making this happen as soon as possible.
She don't never know when she might jet though. She don't never know when she might have to leave.
She probably haven't
talk
feeling
about
though that
never
it's soon.
unpacking her things.
Yep, and she keep all her things in them garbage bags.
Because she always on the go.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We already knew she was an orphan. She already explained that. That's why she keep the things in the garbage bag. She already explained that.
She always on the go and she always moving.
Never know when she's gonna have to pick up and move.
Little Homicide is down at the F&G funeral home.
Not Little Homicide.
He's going to see Wody. He's going to see Wody and Big Teak. And you know, they started to have a conversation for the first time where they were actually finishing up the conversation that they were having before his phone went dead on the FaceTime in regards to Rome and Wody killing Rome. And of course, Little Murder develops. He has some sense of morality about him in regards to Wody making the decision to unalive Rome. And Wody feels that his actions were completely justified. One, he's protecting you, and two, he was protecting Keyshawn. So you know he doesn't see a problem with the decision in eliminating that threat. Whereas a Little Murder feels like you're not God. You know, you shouldn't have made that choice. But he turns around and does the same thing.
I'm about to say he becomes a hypocrite.
Yeah, he becomes a hypocrite. You turn around and do the same thing that you're lecturing Wody about. You know, so that irritated me as well. Because you felt justified to vindicate Teak because Pico was out here claiming that, you know, he caught the body.
Right, because he got punked, you know, or whatever.
But I'm glad they gave us closure on that story because I was just so tired of Pico because I was getting to the point where I was starting to feel like Pico, do you want something with Little Murder or whatever? Like, why are you so invested in this man's sexuality? Like, why is this such a focal point for you in your life?
They were opposite gangs, though.
But they didn't start out that way. They were a part of the same gang. They fell out when they had that argument in the club.
Right.
When he called him a punk in the club the last season. I mean, I'm just glad they got rid of that character because
because he took an ass whooping. His pride was hurt.
Twice. I was ready for him to go on.
Pico was
punk. But you know what though? Big applause to how Lil Murder handled that situation. Like he went from like, you know, I can be like this soft, cool, calm, collective character, crying tears, to I'm gonna put your ass down with this Draco. It was like a whole different person.
It was only one way out of that. He was gonna have to.
It was a whole different person. That was a whole different Little Murder.
I like that VSOP.
I do too.
What? But that wasn't Woody that did it though. It was the people at the funeral, right?
Yeah, it was one of the OGs.
From when they were talking about Little Murder says, so you think you're you know, I don't use the Lord's name in vain, but you think you're the man above, and Wally says, you know, maybe I ain't. There's a little man above in all of us, and a little devil too. Sometimes you gotta, you know.
Yeah,
and so
true.
I think that's the conversation that they're referencing that he had with Walter that, you know, kind of solidified for him. Okay. But at the time, he didn't know what he had to do. It wasn't until after. So I don't know.
But it also became a teaching moment for him because some of the conversations between Wody and Murder, I feel like that's what they turn out to be, teaching moments. Because Wody drops those little nuggets of facts and Little Murder kind of ponders on them and then applies them to whatever scenario they need to be applied to. So I think it was just him getting a little bit of knowledge from the angel of death. Angel of death.
I enjoyed Waldy. This is another good scene for me with Waldy. I would love to see a little bit more from him.
That's what I was going to say. They're developing his character very well, but we just need a little bit more. We need a little bit more.
We can spend a little bit more time with him.
I do. I agree.
Yeah.
Mercedes is down here at the club and she's trying to rehearse, and everybody is there. Diamond and Big Body is hugged up in the DJ booth.
So stupid, so dumb. He won't come to work though. He won't come to make money. He will not come to make money, but he will come and just loiter around.
Loiter.
Like, come on.
On full body.
Oh, full body, big body.
I
Big
hang
body
around
got
full
him
body.
mesmerized right now.
The number
too.
of people standing around in this scene, I just was like, this is filler. This is filler.
And that was irritating for me too, because everybody knows what the issue is with Mercedes. So to put her on the spot in front of everyone to say, well, let me see what your new routine is. Like, nobody's actually trying to help her. You know, like, Autumn, you're trying to help everybody else, but at what point is someone going to pull Mercedes to the side and give her some help that she needs? Because right now she needs counseling.
She looks different.
Mercedes helped her before. I mean, Autumn helped her before.
But let's look at this from the other side. The reason why Haley and Mercedes are the reason why they're going, because she did that specifically out of spite to fuck with Mercedes.
Mercedes
The reason why,
Yep.
right, and the reason why is because her and Mercedes are beefing. Mercedes put her ass out with no notice, no nothing. So I mean, as far as they should have some compassion to Mercedes, how about like Mercedes? You got mad at Haley and you put her ass out and she was like, well, can I at least get a couple of days to find somewhere to go? She was like, no, get your shit out today.
Tonight.
So why should she have any compassion for Mercedes?
Exactly. I was gonna say the exact same thing. That was all out of spite. That was little pettiness and little wars that they got.
Because she killed your abusive baby daddy.
No, I get that, Chris. But what I'm saying is, it wasn't like it came out of the blue. It wasn't everybody picking on Mercedes. It was Haley. Haley initiated that whole situation, and that's because her and Mercedes are beefing right now.
Well,
you know what I mean?
A lot of people are beefing, so that's all that is.
She was Mercedes alone, and that damn,
she was showing that she was the boss. She put
her. They better leave my Mercedes alone. That damn witch.
See, that's all that is right there. That's all that is right there.
That's all that is, because I was gonna go to that, because that's all you talking about is that.
That's all that is right there.
No, she can't. She's not dancing. She's not highlighting the pink. No, she's not doing it. She's unavailable.
Don't come for me.
Unavailable for work.
She is available for work.
She might be available for. She available for a private dance. You go ahead and say
limited duty. She can't work that pole. She's not the headline.
I nominate DJ for a PIP for that statement.
She's the opening act.
He's gonna get a PIP. He gonna get a PIP later on tonight.
She's the
performance improvement plan.
Yes.
Yes. She's the assistant.
Hopefully, it's not the same PIP that Terrence got.
But it just irritates me to see them two witches over there talking about Mercedes. Y'all don't know nothing about what that girl done been through. Y'all don't know about what she's going through right now. And y'all just make short. Y'all make too many jokes about her condition right now. Like she's just old and deteriated or whatever.
Who made a joke?
That goes
witch whisper.
I thought she said this. I thought they just said this is gonna be good.
No,
geriatric pubic hair.
Yeah, geriatric.
Oh yeah, the old Mercedes.
My grandma trying to set up Wi-Fi. My grandma trying to set up Wi-Fi. Like, no, them hoes they can go to. I ain't feeling them.
But that goes according to.
They was coming for Mercedes.
It goes with the job. It goes with the environment.
That goes into current times. Like it's a lot of younger people who may not respect us due to the fact that we're 35, 36, 37, 40, 42, 45. They might not respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Speak for yourself.
What'd you say?
Speak for yourself.
32. Which one of y'all 32?
I don't know.
It ain't you. It is not you. Add 5 to that 32. Yeah, sit back.
That would be me.
You alive?
Of course, honey. I wasn't speaking of you. Of course, I know that you're barely out of your 20s. Good. I mean,
exactly.
Oh my God, this is laughable. Keyshawn shows up to the club and they, Uncle Clifford have a fit about this. They back there screaming and hollering about that.
What Uncle Clifford say? You yellow bitches or something like that?
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. It was real thick and heavy in this episode.
It was thick and heavy. Quite entertaining.
It was pretty gross.
Yeah.
When she walked through, I was like, ooh. I was leading the bed, had to sit up for that. I was like, ooh. You see Diamond Face?
Yeah.
That moment was
hold on him much longer. Big
That
Body
moment
ain't
was
gonna
worth
hold
it.
on much longer. His bay back now.
Oh man,
Yeah.
because he thought he escaped that. You know,
Yeah.
he was having the Maxwell bad habit moment. And he was like, I broke away, that this, that, the other, and she comes right back to haunt you.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a good Keyshawn Diamond scene. Now we
I bet.
can do that. Like I feel like we done did enough in terms of sex scenes with this season. Like we've overachieved, but I wouldn't turn down a Diamond Keyshawn moment. Ooh, I love a little caramel and chocolate. Dip your
Oh, you
chocolate
know
in my
what,
peanut
Lauren?
butter type situation. Mm-hmm.
Even though I see it from Mercedes, you're absolutely right, though, Lauren. I mean, I'm not that fixated on Mercedes to not agree with that comment. I mean, she has been somewhat of a had a nose up in the air. You know, this, I'm the baddest bee around here. So, some of it is a little bit of karma that she's getting back.
But
None of this would exist without the Mercedes experience. She
Say
said that.
what? Say what?
She said none of this would exist without the Mercedes experience. She said that.
Oh, whatever.
It's
She's
like you
so
got
different now, though. I mean, she's so
Look,
different.
you can't make some people happy. Look.
Yeah, look, he got a fit. Say
At least my Mercedes can give us an experience now. Your Autumn, she can barely spin around on the pole.
Autumn about to get ready to make them people rich though. So you remember that. Mercedes ain't doing nothing.
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean,
Autumn about to be swimming with Montavious if she don't take that.
if Mercedes had half the sense that Autumn did, she wouldn't be back down there at the Pynk. So I say that to say that
and
Autumn ain't trying to get back
took
on the
it.
pole.
They took
Mercedes is though. And
we'll
even
say
after
that
she's
backstage.
gotten a little bag, she's gotten that little bag from Coach Candyman and Mrs. Candyman. So I don't understand why she's just back down there at the Pynk. Why are you
But
back
she
down
didn't.
there?
Remember, she didn't get her money. She
She
didn't get her money.
She got a little money though, really. B. She
The
got
first
a stack
time.
the first day.
But she-
When she
remember,
went back
Because
and
they
double
established
back
the
on the
contract,
white,
they did.
But
got
remember,
another stack.
no, she got one stack.
Oh, with the wife, right?
So
So
she didn't get a
okay,
stack the
she
first
got
night?
2 stacks. No, you're right. No, you're right. She got 2 stacks. But what I'm saying
3
is,
stacks, actually.
she didn't get all of what she signed up for.
No,
She
she
did.
didn't. But she did get a good
But
down
listen, but
payment.
Miss Honey, but Miss Honey, she didn't get enough to live off of. She didn't get. She remember she was behind on all her bills. Remember she was behind on the gym. You know what I'm saying? So she probably got caught up on her bills. She might have a little bit of money in the bank. Hell, she taking trips down to Jackson and paying for abortions, but I don't think she has the money to live off of, and I don't see she don't have no way. Like there's no future. Where's she gonna go? She gonna go down to the TCBY, scoop ice cream?
Well, I mean, what you're saying is correct, but the reason I started all that is because it's this idea that Mercedes is a good dancer. She used to be a good dancer, right? I think she still can dance. I just don't think her heart is in it anymore. But my greater point is that Autumn dancing was never her thing. Her thing is all she's more of a operator, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so
she was never a dancer.
no, she was never a dancer, and she's not invested in dancing. But it's another reason why their relationship could be beneficial because they both are good at different things. Okay. I'm just saying Mercedes is not the end all to be all because she can dance and Autumn cannot. Autumn got smarts, which is why she hadn't been back to that pole. But Mercedes is back now for a second time after she has quit. She back.
Maybe a
And
third.
she looks defeated. She looks defeated. She looks different. She don't even look like the same Sadie's, like with the makeup and stuff. Like they got her looking real naturally beautiful. I want Mercedes to win, and I want them to write her as a winner.
Agreed.
I think what VSOP 85 said, I think part of it is about Mississippi. Because if you go back to the beginning part of the episode, and they had mentioned Mississippi name, and it was like, well, don't mention that heifer's name, and this and the other.
Because she put the gun on
knowing that Autumn, prior to knowing that Autumn was still had plans on selling the Pynk. So it still was like a little beef, with Mississippi because she had pulled that gun out on Diamond.
Well, Mississippi got a beef. I mean, not Mississippi. Mercedes got a beef with everybody. Moment with Lane is the only time we don't see her snapping her neck and That's it. That's the only time we don't see her with it. That's why I enjoyed her so much when she was with Coach Candyman, because she was just naturally beautiful, soft Mercedes there. For whatever reason, in and around Chucalissa, she's a ooh.
But let's just be clear, Mercedes is not in the situation that she's in because of her own actions. Her mama stole her money.
Yeah, facts.
Her mama stole all her money. I mean, she had a plan out. So I mean, the reason why she's back, not because she necessarily failed at trying to pursue her dream, is they were taken from her. They were stolen from her like a thief in the night. So
that was stupid. She ain't got
she's
a bank
having to regroup. She's having to regroup on all fronts.
Let me just say this: if the roles were reversed, Autumn was Mercedes, vice versa. Same brain, same energy. Autumn would have put together a group and stole that money back. She would have put together the paper and took her money back.
Mercedes needed to do what Roulette did. She needed to put a gun to her coach head and say, "Give me my stack."
Mercedes she's a barker. She's a broken. She's hurt. She's wounded.
What?
She's been wounded, and she's just a barker. She doesn't really have a lot.
I'm gonna wait till we get to that.
Yeah.
For Roulette, because that was done perfectly.
Actually, I'm gonna go
ahead
and get into that. So we see Roulette and Whisper, they're having a conversation, and I almost get a little Ronnie feels from Player Club. I get a little Ronnie feels because when she was adamant about Whisper going on this trick, and Whisper pulled out her little crystal and she wanted to talk to the crystal, she snatched the crystal. I'm like, no, just come on and let's go, whatever the case may be. What are your thoughts on her intentions on wanting Whisper to go meet with old dude?
She was gonna try to keep the money, or keep most of the money.
I think she wants to talk. I think she wants to whore her out. I think whoring her out is like
we're on the same page.
Getting her to sign on whoring herself out is like saying she's no better than me.
You're no better than me. Yep.
She's not more valuable than I am. She whores too.
Yep. Actually, I'm gonna take you a little step further than that. I fully agree with that. That's exactly the way it came across to me as well. But I also think there was a little bit of revenge that she wanted to get on Terrence as well. Because in that episode where Terrence propositioned her for Whisper, she was excited to see him and everything until he was like, wow.
Until you made that statement.
Yeah, I'll pay your girl 2 stacks if she let me,
chop her down.
And so she got offended by that. She was like, well, damn, I wish I would have got that offer to lay on my back instead of having to get on my knees and whatever. So I feel like all this was kind of arranged so she can get her moment back at Terrence. Oh, like, okay, so you think that you're going to just trick me out? You can come in here and pay her this money or whatever the case may be. I mean, the way that she put that gun in his mouth and made him suck it is almost very similar to how he made her suck him off for money or whatever the case may be. So I feel like all that was it was a combination, because one,
we got her name from.
Sure that they got all that money.
I don't think that was a part of her initial plan to do that to him. I think it evolved. I do think she had a lot of animosity towards him because of how he rolled it out. But I think it was her intention on taking some shine off of Whisper by putting her in this, talking her into doing this thing that, this thing. I think that was a little bit of it.
Well,
what I love about the Roulette character is that she evolved. That was a nice natural evolution because we didn't know a lot about Roulette. We weren't sure which way she was going to go. Turns out she's, like I said in my review, she's like Harley Quinn and the Regina King character from The Harder They Fall. Like, this moment was my favorite scene.
You see where she got her name from?
Roulette, yeah.
Roulette.
When she said, I'm going to pull it every time. I was like, okay.
I liked it.
I'll tell you that.
It was good. It was good. When she popped that gum, talking to him, and she gave him the up and down, I was like, girl, you better play this thing. You best play it.
That's Wanda from Snowfall.
It was the best scene.
That is Wanda.
Outside a little murder conversation with Pico.
And she's a little bit unstable too. She's a little.
I'm telling you,
she's very unstable.
Yeah. So you don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm
Ain't
saying
no
there's a
telling what she
little
gonna
bit
do
in that.
next.
He's very
No.
She's
unstable.
very unstable.
Yeah.
I agree,
Right.
really.
And she made old boy feel like. But do you think old boy gonna come back after her?
I think it was stupid.
Hell no.
He know where to find her, right down the
You
boulevard.
know where to find her, but at the same time, no. You got to tell everybody under the conditions, like she said. You
Right,
gotta
but they
said
tell
took
the
his
same thing,
car.
too.
All he got to do is say he paid them. They
She
rolled
stole
him.
Chevelle? Come on, man. Come on.
Oh,
You
the
gonna go
people.
amongst your
Like I
guys,
said,
your
there's
guys?
no reason in the world why Roulette ain't supposed to be dead in the next episode because he know where she worked. He know how to find her. There's no reason in the world that she's supposed to walk away from this. I'm sorry.
Oh, she should be dead, but I don't think she's gonna die.
He ain't trying
I mean,
that.
she's not going to, I don't think, but she's supposed to be. But
He
like I
might
was
catch
saying
up with her and
earlier, I
humiliate
feel
her.
like, but I feel like a lot of what we're seeing is leading us to another murder night. I feel like whatever's going on with full body, big bone, whatever her name is,
Big
we
Bone,
know.
you
I
get
feel
her
like
name
I
right.
feel like she's a spy, and
Big
something
Body.
is going to culminate with that. I feel like that's going to culminate on the same night as Mississippi tries her escape, where she makes her debut back at the Pynk, and that's supposed to be the night that she's supposed to be running away with her kids. I think that's going to be the same night that something's going to happen with murder and this whole gang war that he done started, and I think that's going to be the same night as this situation with Roulette. Old dude gonna show up looking for her. I just think it's gonna be the same thing we saw last season with this chaotic one night with everything. Because think about it, Mississippi makes her big return to the Pynk is going to be the same type of buzz as Mercedes' last dance, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody going to the Pynk, all eyes on the Pynk, the focus is there. And I just think we're gonna have a whole nother night full of this happening, this happening, this happening, this happening, this happening. I don't want to see that because I feel like that's lazy writing because you already did that. But that's what I just feel like that's where we're going.
I got a crazy prediction, but I'm gonna wait. I like where you going with this, really, B, because I thought about it too. I don't think that's what's happening, but it really felt like that's where it was going. We were going to have another crescendo, aka murder night for this season. It just feels like that. But now, after this episode, I kind of feel like I can see which way things are kind of turning a little bit, but I'll wait.
Thanks for the congratulations.
I just think that Roulette ain't going nowhere, and like Really B said, it's definitely about to be some crazy going on at the Pynk. It's going on. It's gonna happen. But I mean, if you think about it's as a man, it's gonna be kind of hard to explain. Like, oh yeah, she put a gun in my mouth, made me suck it, and stole my car.
He's just gonna tell a different story, though, honey. He's not gonna tell that story.
Her homegirl $200 extra to all the money for giving her head. That doesn't make sense. As a man, your guys looking at you.
I paid to chop her down.
Right, I paid to chop her down.
I paid for a dance and they robbed me. That's what he's gonna say. I paid for the dance and they robbed me. That's what he's gonna tell people. And anyway, he's not gonna tell a group of people. He's just gonna tell the right people, and they gonna go in there and handle them.
And he don't have to tell nobody.
He ain't telling
nobody. He don't have to tell nobody. He knows where she lives. I mean, where she works. All he gotta do is wait for her. He doesn't. But I'm right. I agree with Miss Honey. First of all, he's gonna tell the version of the story that works for him. And even if he does tell the story, but he really don't have to tell nobody nothing. Because when she was saying, "Oh, he ain't gonna be in a rush to tell the story," why?
I'm just saying.
I mean, Chucalissa is a big little city, but still.
I mean, I'm just saying, why are you so sure that he ain't gonna be in no rush to tell his story? His story don't have to be your story.
He not finna speak nothing of that night that happened.
Yes, he will. He just give his version of it. He just
No, he not. No, he not. Come on, somebody stole your Chevelle as a man? Why?
What is that? What do you mean? Why you got robbed? People get robbed every day.
He's gonna want his car back.
He's not speaking the word.
That car is gone.
That car is
gone, but he's still gonna want it back.
What I'm saying is, Juggernaut, why are you turning this? I mean, maybe it's a woman-man thing. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, people get robbed all the time. And like Miss Honey said, all he gotta say is,
that is 100%.
Because the reality is, it's two hoes' word against his. And if he's talking to his boys, he talking to his crew, Like,
and why should his mother though when he paying for ass though?
I don't understand what you mean.
As a man, he's out here. He's paying for ass. He's been paying for ass since the club. He just paid to give head. 2 racks.
Okay, but
I see what they say because he's not going to tell them that.
Right? Why would he tell that story? He's not going to tell that story.
He's not going to tell anything. Who want to bet me?
No, he's probably not going to tell anything. He don't have to tell anything. That's what they said.
He's not going to tell anything. He's not going to speak a word.
He don't have to say nothing, but he still can do something. He don't have to say anything. But
he's not going to do nothing either.
That's what I don't understand. I'm confused. I'm confused why this is a big deal. Like, people get robbed all the time. I don't. You tell the version of the story that works for you. People do it all the time.
You can get.
He's not going to go to the police. He's not going to call the police.
I'm not negating the fact that he got robbed. I'm not negating that fact. He did. But at the end of the day, he's not going to do nothing about it. Nothing.
I don't believe that. That's a lie. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
Around the next 2 episodes.
I think I don't believe several. There's going to be several people trying to kill several other people in this.
I don't believe that. Listen.
I can almost guarantee if he pull it, she's laying him out. And if he pull it at the club, if he pull it at the Pynk, something else is gonna happen because don't put your hands on the girls. So nothing is gonna happen.
They don't have no damn security. Who's gonna stop them? Big L? They don't have no security.
Big L is terrible security.
Diamond making out at the front door.
Big L is the worst security.
Listen. Hey, Juggernaut. Listen, Juggernaut. I'm gonna do you just like I did, and Retro. No, I make good on my bets. I bet you $20 right now before the end of the season.
Let's write this down.
This comes back around. This comes back around.
Put it in the chat. It's $20. It's $20.
It's in the chat. $20. It's in the chat. It comes back around. It's no way. There's no way that this happens and nothing happens to roulette. I don't believe that.
Nothing's happening. Oh, on Batera's hands, nothing's happening.
Okay, that's the bet then. That's the bet.
Nothing's happening. $20. Put it in the
$20. And
does this include Terrence showing up again? Because on this season, does this include Terrence showing up in this season again? Is that what we're saying?
He's gonna, if he show up at the Pynk, he's gonna die.
That's not the point, though. That's not the point. You said nothing's gonna happen. What I'm saying is this isn't over. This story is not over. It don't end.
He's not pulling it.
I like the bet.
I like the bet too.
This is going to be one more paper, one more murder paper.
But let's be clear on what the bet is, because I want to make sure we clear. What I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is, this isn't over. Roulette. What I'm saying is there will be a repercussion to this caper, whether it works or not. Dude is coming back. He's looking for her something. That's what I'm saying.
It's not happening.
And he said that it's not happening. So that's the bet.
Okay. All right, we're clear then. All right,
you said something's going to happen. He said something is not going to happen.
$20 is not happening.
$20.
Xavier say he with you, Juggernaut. Xavier say he with you.
Now, cash up me the money and I'll hold on to it.
That's what I was thinking.
Cash up me the money and I'll hold on to it. I'll hold the money.
CG, you in charge of the girls.
I'm in charge of the girls. Let me hold the money. I got the money.
Okay.
Right, Yana. He coming to the Pynk for the grand
I'm about to tell you what's going to happen at the Pynk right now. Lil Murder going to be there. It's going to be something that gets said that's going to drive everybody else from Pico team to basically end up at the Pynk again. Because that's not
Mississippi.
That situation
come and see Mississippi. That's what's going to draw everybody in. Everybody in town coming to see Mississippi. They're going to come and see Mississippi. That's what's going to get everybody there to the club. What happens after everybody get there? Well, that remains to be seen. Sorry, I feel like I opened a Pandora's box with that one.
The bet is nothing that's happening with the bet is nothing that's happening with roulette at all, especially from Terrence punk ass hands.
Y'all should just bet $50. Why y'all ain't bet 50?
And let me just hold the money. And just let me hold the money. Yeah.
What shoes coming out real quick? Let me hold the money.
Well, we need more than $50. We need more than $50.
We get 50 and 50. You know what I'm saying? That's hey.
We're on our way.
Quarter of the way there.
Like I said, that's okay. Like, you know,
Speaking of shoes, where's the lipsticks and laces at, ladies?
I didn't know we had got to that segment yet. No, we had got to that segment.
I mean,
yet.
it's here. He brought it up. They brought it up.
I think he wants to talk about his cologne. The cologne he's
Oh, he wants
wearing.
to talk about.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
We
see, I
ain't
wasn't
listen.
gonna talk about
Listen,
my
we gotta get through this episode. It's been an hour and a half. We ain't got time
was-
to go off on no whole conversation about cologne.
I
I
was
was gonna
thinking
talk
about
about
that the
cologne.
whole time you was fighting with Juggernaut about which one of y'all was prettier. And the whole time I was like, it's really me that's prettier, but can we move forward?
I know. Listen, I was sitting here thinking the same thing. I'm like, well, can we get through the rest of the episode first?
Yeah,
The way
right.
you came on camera really be like you meant that thing. That's what I like.
Yeah,
I
you know, because she jumped on the cap. She wanted
You
him to
really
see.
fight.
She wanted him to
I
see
meant
her
it.
face.
I meant it.
You like
And I
put
don't
me
want
up
no
on the
hard
big
feelings
screen.
afterwards
Severity.
either.
She like, nah, let me get on here. All right,
Yeah.
as you were, retro. As you were.
Let's go.
Well, I'm just glad it ain't me for a change. Because normally I'm the one who get ganged up on.
And she was ready with the lip when she came for you. The lips was pretty fully glazed when she came for you, Juggernaut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not the lip was fully glazed.
yeah. She jumped off the porch, all right. She did a backwards flip off the porch.
She did not get on here looking ugly. She was like, "Let me tell you, put this lip on real quick so I can tell you all the way off, Juggernaut."
She said, really be jumped
let
on
me
the
get
porch.
let me get you
Man,
straight.
I'm talking about the hand mannerisms and everything.
All right. So
All right,
Uncle Clifford is sitting in his car. He just, having one of his moments where he's pouting regarding his argument with Autumn about Mississippi and everything. And his mother appears to him in the back seat. For some reason that gave me Precious vibes. Precious, I'm hungry. I didn't know how we were going to receive his mom. And she's sitting in that back seat smoking that cigarette like Monique was on Precious. I just knew that she was getting ready to say some off the wall crazy stuff, but she did. And basically, I really didn't take anything away from that conversation. I knew that it meant something, and I knew it meant something to Uncle Clifford, but it didn't draw enough of my attention in to take away anything from that conversation between him and his mom. What did I miss?
I didn't. You didn't miss nothing.
You
we get
miss
something.
Nico Anon's acting skills.
Yeah, yeah. But the scene itself, I didn't take anything away from the scene. Like I didn't.
Because Nico Anon's acting skills weren't there.
Like, what was a message that she was trying to convey to him?
She was trying to say, pick yourself up. You gonna cry, that's fine, but you need to be trying to work this thing. Like, you need to get your revenge.
Right.
Like, you
She
need to be
cried,
moving
and when you
smarter
get done
and not
crying, what's the
harder.
plan?
Instead of having these temper tantrums, get up and do something about your business. Which he should have
Basically,
been
same
doing
thing
from day
Grandma Ernestine
one.
been telling them all along. Why don't you just kill the bitch?
Yeah. At the same time, he's got 30% of the business.
Yeah.
30% of the business, but Autumn makes all of the decisions. She has all of the money. He's just floundered this whole season. He's not my favorite this year. He's not my favorite this year at all. I have nothing really favorable to say about Clifford at all, except that ponytail was sickening that he wore to see Corbin. Other than that, Nico is not giving. He is not giving this season. I stand by that. Them tears, he cannot make himself cry for nothing. For nothing. He'll come out with a moist eyeball, but that tear it'd be so low and single easing down his, cheek. It's nothing behind it. Like, it's the worst. It is the worst. Him in the dark cemetery after you done got spooked in the portal to hell room because you heard a sound. But you sitting in the pitch black dark in a cemetery, fake smoking a cigarette,
and having a Crown Royal
and cleaning your mama's
mama,
grave site.
But that's different. That's different. He want to go see his mama. That ain't the same.
Child, bye.
So we talking about Drunk
We
Shell.
didn't know he had a mom.
Drunk Shell is over to Mercedes' house coming to pick up Terica. And she finds out about the abortion, which that just kind of irritated me as well, because I'm like, that was the whole purpose of Terica going over there to seek refuge. So Shell did find out. Why she decides to call Shell and tell Shell about the abortion, I just don't know. It's the mother I know versus the mother I'm stuck with now. I guess I don't know.
You think
Terica
she's
sitting there
playing
looking
them
like
against each other?
Patrice Woodbine.
I could have did without that scene too.
CG. You
Yo.
think she playing? You think Terica playing them against each other?
I guess
Because that was random as hell.
But for what? I mean, but for what outcome?
I don't know, but it just seemed like she was playing them against each other.
It was pretty random, but this episode was pretty random.
That's what I was getting
It
ready
was
to
a
say.
lot of random moments in this episode.
Yeah.
I was tripping because I thought it last episode, but it really came back to me pretty strong. Terica looks a lot like Patrice Woodbine. I mean, she got Vincent Hedges lips and everything.
I agree. Shell definitely need to be slapped.
I can't stand her either. She's so holier than thou, and she's on this high horse, and you are falling down drunk. You got a 14-year-old child driving you around. Like, I'm tired of her. I'm tired of her character. I just wish she'd go away. She's pointless.
Come on, let's go.
She's pointless at this point. She's pointless. They're at the funeral, and we can see Lil Murder is really struggling with putting Big Teak in the ground. He gives him one more of his rhymes for him to take down in the hole with him this time. And, they send him off very well. And, of course, one of the OGs approaches him outside of the funeral and informs him that Pico is going around here claiming that, he took out Big Teak, and that just lights Lil Murder's fire for revenge. We already kind of talked about the outcome of that.
He looked scared. He looked like he did not want to do it.
Yeah, because he was scared. Because
that's not what happened. I don't even want to get involved in that, but he had to do it.
Yep, he had to. Yep. Well, it kind of also goes back to the conversation that him and Wody was having earlier regarding the video. And we learned that at 15, Lil Murder, I'm assuming, made some type of porn type video or whatever for money or whatever. So I guess this is the video.
He was a working guy. That's why I went back to what I said about him. It was not being his first time being on the lower floor, because for obvious reasons, but this kind of confirmed it. He had to do some things to make ends meet to take care of his mom and his family. At 15, that's what he decided to do. I don't think he was performing acts to make money. I think he was
I guess so. But when they called him over to look at that video, I think in his mind, he thought that it was a video that Rome had done leaked out. He almost seemed relieved when he found out.
He really thought that was that video.
Yeah. He almost seemed relieved, like, okay, that's not
that was one of the OGs too. He was like, "Murder, look at this."
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You can see it all over his face, like, oh shit.
That's what I thought it was. I was like, Ronan leaked it out. I got a feeling he probably did send it to somebody.
The scene with Maine and Mercedes irritated me. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but Maine seems like he really does care for Mercedes. It seems like he cares for her more than just wanting to hit. And of course, she kind of brushes him off. But when she was using that battery operated boyfriend of hers and screaming and hollering out of that room, the first thing she says was, "When Maine gets out, I'm gonna jump him on sight." But here this man trying to give himself to you, and you brush him off. But
that was before Farrah.
I guess so. And you know what? She's gonna be in next week's episode too.
Farrah?
Yeah.
I thought she was doing that because she's trying to make some changes, with hopes of getting Terica back.
I didn't look at it from that perspective. Maybe she
I just didn't understand why she was brushing Maine off, but because I don't know if y'all saw him or not in that flannel vest, the way his muscles was pulsating and vibrating to my breathing, but he fine, and so I give it up to her for being strong in that moment. She was so strong in that moment. The scrimp it must have taken, not the straddle. His nose.
I mean, she's better than me. Because listen, I would have took the temporary relief and worried about the rest of the morning. Okay,
it would have been to the windows, to the wall. Okay.
I
I would have put it in his ears, in his nose, in his eyelids.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's where you put fine perfume. You're supposed to dabble it in your hot zone.
The Miss Honey
Exactly.
experience.
Keep it
The
cute.
Miss
You know what I'm
Honey
saying?
experience.
Mercedes supposed to jump on that.
Okay, but you're saying I want something different. I'm trying to move away from that. I want something different. I was super proud of her, the strength that mother must have taken, but you're still stripping. Like, I want to see a Mercedes episode. We're not gonna get it, but I would love that. I remember thinking when the series first started that the show was about Mercedes.
I did
and
too,
Uncle
because she's the
Clifford.
one who's walking in the credits, just like Ghost is
Yeah.
on Power. So I thought she
Yeah.
was, the show was centered around her. I agree with
They've
that.
not done her character justice.
Not
Anyway.
this season, they didn't. I think
No.
last season it was more. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of side stories, but the focal last season was about Mercedes' last dance, right? Everything was building up. So, but this season, and maybe that's another part of my frustration. I hate when I feel like the writers tear down these strong characters that they built up. Last season, Mercedes was the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Everything started and ended with Mercedes.
And she was in charge of the girls. She
was
always
in
was
charge
strong
of
with
the
the girls because
girls.
she was in charge of the girls.
She ran the show.
She ran the club.
And they've totally taken that away. They have, I mean, emasculated isn't the right word because she's not a man. They have emasculated her on every level when it comes to going back to the first or second episode where they were having audition. Well, even going before that when they were having auditions, and she, you know, Haley undercut her with when she pulled in Big Body. You know, then you know we had the whole thing going on with what. It just every opportunity they have torn her down this season. Even the situation with Coach was her savior. For him to do what he did was out of character to everything they showed us about Coach.
It humiliated the character. The character has been humiliated over and over and over again and diminished, in my opinion.
And then
who y'all think the season is about now?
Where the girl can't
Mississippi?
even twerk. I mean, yeah, the girl can't even twerk now. That don't even have nothing to do with her shoulder. She couldn't do. She can't even twist in the name.
Like climbing the pole is one thing.
Right?
That's
I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm like, come on.
That's
She couldn't do a split. She couldn't do a split anymore.
Right, like to do with her shoulder that she can't split.
When she kicked that speaker over, I was like, "Girl, you trying to get fired?"
It was
You
bad.
don't want to strip no more,
Right.
do
I
you,
ain't
girl?
looking for that.
But when she was over at Coaches, she worked that pole like a professional.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
With
Like,
the hurt
she was-
shoulder. With the hurt shoulder.
I thought
With
she
the
was
hurt
back on
shoulder.
the mend. When she was over at Coaches, she was doing damn thing.
Yeah.
Even when all them will
I think
dance
that's
on the
I think that's
stage.
why I was so frustrated because it's just like they're tearing her down.
Yeah,
And for
I've been
what?
saying that. I won't.
And another thing that bothers me
Mercedes
is
to win.
there has been no scenes with her and Patrice. There has been no come back to, hey, Patrice, run me my stacks. You just let everybody run over you. You left up out of coach them place, didn't get your stacks. You got Patrice over here getting all these blessings.
Mercedes
And she ain't got her money back yet.
She gonna get
And
that
that's
money.
not the Mercedes of last year because remember when I don't remember what episode and all that, but remember when she got shorted, she could tell by looking at the money that it was light. Now
Or
you
do you
mean to tell me
remember
that
the
she rode up out of Coach's house without that? No, that ain't the Mercedes of last season. She wouldn't have done that.
Remember that? You preaching now, really? Be you preaching?
Do you remember the episode where the guy was at one of the patrons was at the club and he had his nose up in the air? He threw the money on the ground from Mississippi, and she came up and was like, "Pick up this money or whatever." She's not the same Mercedes. She's not the same Mercedes. There's no way she should have left out of there without her stacks, and there's no way she shouldn't have took her ass over there to Patrice Church and like run me my money back.
But the conversation she had with Maine kind of spoke to how wounded and broken she really is behind that night.
Right. Maybe they showing her in a weak state right now. She going.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I mean, well, that's what they're saying. That maybe it's the Pynk, you know, with the bad vibes and the bad juju and all that. Like, and that's fine. But then I'm gonna need them to make a stronger connection. Call me stupid, but I'm gonna need them to make a stronger connection between the two because you got me all over the place.
Listen, one of my honeybees was in the comments for last week's episode, and they were asking me, do I watch Katori Hall's like after shows? She must do it on the internet somewhere, but and so she kind of explains the episode. I don't do that because I want to approach every review fresh just from what I saw, right? And I said that also because you shouldn't have to go back and explain the episode to people. You shouldn't.
Exactly. That's how I feel about watching Courtney's For Power. I shouldn't have to go watch her explain the episode for it to make sense. You know what I'm saying?
That's fact.
That's just me. But that's why I don't watch them. That's why I don't watch them either. I'm with you. Yeah. My thing is, I sat through an hour of the episode. Now I got to sit through an hour of an explanation of what I just watched. No, that's crazy.
Right.
And some of it, I'm sure, I've not heard her, but some of it, I'm sure people are like, oh, she said the reason why she did that was because of this. I'm like, it still don't make sense. Still don't make sense. Like, okay. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
All right. Are we only okay. Oh,
yeah, I agree with that. And
I think she gave him information too.
And
it wasn't as specific as that he needed it to be.
We saw that last week. She's still not strong enough to confront her mom. You know, she's still living in
That's a good point, Raven.
The shadow of her mama. She can't bring herself to confront her mama, but she need to go over there and.
Well, she did tell Terica that, you know, Patrice has no power unless we give it to her.
Yep. But we see that she's still doing it though, because every scene last week she was seeing her Patrice in herself. So we know that Patrice still is got a lot of her head space. Speaking of Patrice, the episode goes out with her down to the church. You know, she's doing a live stream sermon, and she's collecting all these donations, and Corbin gives her $10K. Basically, he kind of alludes to he'll give her more money if she drops out of the race. Do y'all think that she's going to drop out of the race?
Yep.
Nope.
Yep. She wants that money. She wants that money. You see, she thought about it. She's thinking about it. Definitely,
she will, but she's gonna get more money out of him first.
Oh, most definitely.
I was going to say that. I don't think she's going to run.
She was
she's going to figure out a way to start fleecing him.
Hey, Xavier,
in whatever capacity, whether it is to talk people into voting for her, she's going to continue to fleece him. She doesn't care anything about that election. That's for sure.
She was definitely dry begging, Xavier. You're right.
She's a dry begging dragon.
She was definitely dry begging.
Well, she getting that money over there.
She was getting this money.
Yep, she got that money.
She was somebody had pledged $1. I was like, why are you pledging $1?
Yeah, she getting that stimmy. So I guess that wraps up this week's episode. I mean, the last thing that we saw was Little Murder in the Booth with Pico's blood on his jury in hand, and I guess he's getting ready to go lay down a track. So I guess that's motivation for him to go lay out a good track or whatever. But
did we talk about the colorism thing? Or did I miss that?
No, go ahead.
What colorism are we talking about?
I know where she's going with that. Go ahead, Miss Honey. Floor is yours.
So here's my thing, and I said it in my review. I'm a little put off by how much people were calling Corbin half breed, half bred, half ninja. I mean, it's on the forefront of everything in this episode. I mean, Corbin is it's clearly an insult. It's clearly meant to be an insult. That's fine. So this is my issue. My issue, and I posed the question, is that people on Scream and in reviews on Twitter, all these different places, people are always quick to correct you about Clifford's pronouns, right? They want to make sure you know that's offensive or it's considered a faux pas for you to do that. At the same time, you don't have the same outrage for the denigration of women verbally or this whole colorism thing. I mean, it was more metaphorical in the roulette story, right? Like um it was there, but we were allowed to form our own perception. But when Clifford called Corbin a half ninja, I was just like, whoa.
But okay, so
That's
here's
okay.
the,
That's fine. That's fine. We're not going to correct that. We're not going to come
but
against that
that's
at all in this
dialogue.
season. That's fine. That's
But
fine. So is he. So is he and she and they and it
but
is.
what I'm saying is that's dialogue in the story. They did it last season. That's the whole dialogue, who he is and who his character is. I don't see that as them being politically incorrect. I don't. That's the story. They've done it with Clifford, with people with misgendering Uncle Clifford. They've done that because it's
Yeah.
part of the story. It's part of
Yeah.
showing the ignorance or the mentality of these people. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
can see.
I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm saying they should have the same. They should have this. It should be corrected on screen. I had a problem with them pushing condoms. This whole for the last season, and then they just do you good. You good? I'm good. You good? Good? I'm good. And then
But
they.
that's realistic. But again, but Miss Honey, that's realistic. People do that all the time in
It's
relationships.
true. It's
They
true.
feel
And
comfortable.
people see
They
a
feel
man
comfortable,
and
and they
they
like, well,
call
I'm
that
good.
man
Are you
he.
good? You know, my
Yeah.
last test,
Yeah.
I was negative. You negative? Like people, like to me, I
It
feel like
is.
just
I'm
a
not saying it's
realistic. I
wrong.
feel
I'm
like
not
they're
saying
just
they
doing.
shouldn't show it, really. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the same
I'm confused.
energy we put behind this, the need to correctly um pronunciate, address, I don't know what it is. The need to do that correctly, it's that's important. It's just as important for us to be very open and verbal about correcting people when they say something off color. We've made the N word mainstream and doable, and the B word, sorry, really mainstream and doable. But
Why you
if you say
apologizing
that,
to me?
if you because you're really BTV.
Right. I
So
don't have a problem with it because I
I
named myself that, so I don't have a problem with it.
I know, I know, I know. I know, I get that. But my whole point is that um it's we've normalized certain things, and now certain things are offensive. If you say it towards certain people, it's offensive, but it's not offensive. I don't know. I don't know. It's just I didn't like it. I thought it was gross. And I think if you're going to address things, you should address things, period. It's never addressed because people say they've done it before. That's the way it is. That's what it is. But I thought it was
Because
gross.
I
I
just think
thought it
that's
was really
dialogue.
gross.
I don't know. I don't know. That's like for example, I'm not the person that gets mad when a white person uses the ninja word in a dialogue of a movie if it's appropriate to the character of who that person is. If that person is playing a racist, they're going to talk like that. It doesn't offend me. So I feel like in this dialogue where they're showing us people who don't feel like what they're saying is offensive because that's the mental. They grew up with Corbin. This is how they've been talking their whole life to him. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's how I'm taking it. I don't see it as a statement because we're talking about dialogue among people, and this is how they talk to each other. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's just how I don't know. It didn't really bother me, but I guess, but I don't understand how it's colorism either. So maybe that's just my ignorance. I don't know.
I know you sometimes you're challenged with colorism comments. But listen,
I don't
so
think I'm challenged. I don't think I'm challenged by it, but I just, it's whatever.
okay, so this is from TV Fanatic, right? This is what they say. This is quotes It says P-Valley season 2, episode 8 quotes from TV Fanatic. It says Mercedes semicolon maybe ain't meant to fly no more. Okay, this is what she says. Maybe I ain't meant to fly no more. Clifford, TV Fanatic is putting the script right on here. Clifford says Niggers. This is TV Fanatic. This is how they type it out. Niggers come to see you fall, not fly. Right? I was like, what? What? Like we've normalized it so
But
much.
that's the script. That's what he said, though. I'm
That
confused.
is what he said. But
I don't know. I
think I know the point that
I mean, just because something has always been so doesn't make it right. Just because we've all grown numb to hearing it doesn't make it right. It just doesn't. It just doesn't.
I think what she's trying to say is something that we have used to describe ourselves is we're now allowing this word to be used in description of ourselves, whereas Uncle Clifford used nigga in a context in GGA, yeah, whereas the interpretation through the TV Fanatic is Nigger. So it's not understanding the difference.
The thing is that we do a lot of things like it's regular, and now we're seeing where you can't even have a faux pas without somebody going off on you because you call someone who considers themselves a female. You can't say he, even though they're clearly growing a beard and look like a male to you. You can't even make that mistake. He doesn't identify as a he. And it doesn't bother me. I don't care. I don't do it on my channel because I have enough trouble keeping up with the names and stuff of everybody. So I'm not trying to split nobody's. I'm not doing that. But I try to be respectful. It's just something I noticed. It's just something I noticed. And, a lot of times people don't see the subtleties of colorism, but I think that within itself is an issue. It's a problem. The fact that you don't see it, it's not that big of a deal. That high yellow bead, it's gross. It's gross. It's just as gross as you calling somebody a darkie. It's just as gross as you walking up to a woman.
But again, I guess I make a difference between how people talk. Like if I'm talking to you and what we're talking about, we're building characters in a television show. I feel like if we're going to make every character politically correct, it's going to make for very boring TV because this is the real world. Everybody isn't politically correct, and we're making it okay.
I think that's a valid point.
I would. But I mean, I would never talk to you like that, and I would never, call Damon high yellow or you yellow. I would never call somebody a half breed in my everyday life. But are there people when we're talking about a specific group of people in a specific area, and this is what they've grown up seeing? Like Uncle Clifford and Corbin been going back and forth at each other since they was in kindergarten. You could tell that's how they've been talking to each other their whole life. That's their dialogue. So I understand what you're saying about that, but I guess my point is, it's the character. So we're going to start making everybody politically correct. It's just boring. Like what? Why are we storytelling?
Yeah, we don't have to address it at all. We also don't have to address Clifford's pronouns.
But what I'm saying, but people misgender him on the show all the time.
Yeah, but this season they have spent an inordinate amount of time correcting people. I'm telling you,
I don't think they spend a lot of time correcting people. I ain't see it like that. But okay,
well, I see it in reviews. I see it on Twitter. I started out by saying that, and I see it in the show. I just, it is what it is. We don't get to see Corbin. I mean, that's how they talk to one another. I mean, obviously, Clifford is the dominant in their friendship. We don't get to hear Corbin talk to him like he talks to Corbin. I mean, okay. That was just my point. I thought it was heavy with the colorism this episode.
Well, I think that's a recurring thing that is communicated in the writing in this particular show, because we see it in other areas as well. Even with Georgie's and the hairdressers, little subtle comments, about go down to Shaniqua's Shanae's hair shop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's
The reparation
present.
comment.
It's a recurring thing throughout.
I think that's, for me, I feel like that's the regular dialogue. Like it's meant to convey this dismissiveness, right? The hostility as it pertains to colorism is amongst our people towards our people.
I agree, Virgin Love.
Okay, so that was a heavy conversation, but that's why we do these reviews. We all interpret things differently, we all see things differently, and we all have a different way that we receive these things. Just like in the real world, sometimes people can say things that may not offend others, but do offend others. Or maybe sometimes we can see things from a different viewpoint that others may or may not see. That makes the beauty of what we do so fun, because we all can agree to disagree, and we can all have a different viewpoint on everything. We're not always going to see things. And I guess that just goes back to the writing in itself, because the message that's sent to me may not be the same message that you receive. So that's what makes these shows so unique, because they're scripted per se, but the interpretation and the reaction and the reality of what we're watching all hits us different. It all hits different, and some of us may experience some of these type of things in real life scenarios, whether it's at work, whether it's in our personal life, or whatever the case may be. Some of us may have some of these things that kind of, we easily identify them or easily recognize them because of some personal experiences that we may have. So, I just think that is a different way that we are interpreting or viewing the writing. All right, so like I said, I
think Murder is going to jail. I think Murder is going to jail. I don't think he's going to get killed. I think he's going to go to jail. And I don't,
I said I don't think he's going to die either.
Yeah, I think Murder's going to go to jail, but I don't think we're going to have Little Murder next season.
And you know why I say that, Miss Honey? I know where you're going with that, because you said that earlier about you had a theory. I was thinking that too. When he threw that cigarette down, when he shot Pico, I was like, well, you just left your DNA behind. We don't leave DNA at crime scenes. We don't leave evidence at crime scenes.
I think there's something going on. Now, I think there's something going on behind the scenes, because Clifford's character is very comfortable in a lot of scenes, most of his scenes. For some reason, there's this awkwardness between him and J. Alphonse when they get together. There's an awkwardness that I can see. A lot of people can't see it. I just don't think we're going to have him next season for the whole season. I don't think they're going to get rid of him. I think he's probably going to get put in jail. So that's my theory. And why won't they just go ahead and get rid of Grandmother Ernestine? I think because Grandmother Ernestine is not gonna die.
Nah, she ain't gonna die.
I don't think so.
I told y'all. If they were going to kill her, they should have just killed her.
Didn't we have a bet that she wasn't going to die? Somebody owe me some money.
We didn't have a bet.
I thought we weren't going to see her.
We didn't have a bet. Nobody made a bet.
That's right. We didn't have a bet. We did have a strong
positive. Nobody made a bet.
We had a
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and find receipts.
It's only one bet going on right now.
Ain't nobody spending nothing. Ain't nobody spending nothing. So
there's only one bet right now, and I will be winning.
And I'll be holding the money.
I'm
holding the money. I'm holding the money.
So I think I want to take parts of that bet. I think something going
to happen. You holding the money. CG, you holding the money?
All right, ladies. What's your lips for today?
Oh, I'm wearing the same thing I wore yesterday.
Favorite?
I'm wearing Milani today. Me and have on Milani today.
Oh, which one is that? Really
nice.
Which one is that?
Is
120.
This is Make Believe. This is called Make Believe. It's the darker purple.
Oh, this is Squad Goals. It's a fuchsia.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Squad goals.
All right.
You're gonna say, "Oh, isn't that nice?"
How nice.
See, Jack, you go first.
I gotta go first.
Yes, you go first.
Oh, good
Ooh.
choice. I knew that's what you had on.
I think
I
you've
knew
worn
that's
those
what you had on.
before.
Good choice. Good choice.
I think you've worn those before. Maybe during the Kanan. I mean, not the Kanan, the Power series.
I don't know. Maybe I did.
No, he showed them behind the scenes. Is what he did.
Oh yeah. I showed it behind the scenes. I just got him.
See, I starting to think that Retro, your backdrop is Photoshop because it looks like it's leaning today. Doesn't it look like it's leaning like in Photoshop pictures?
Don't gas him. Don't get him started.
It is Photoshop.
He don't need no fight. No
There's
gas.
nothing back there Photoshop.
Yeah,
See, I told y'all. I've been
There's
telling y'all.
nothing back there.
Because I mean, it looks kind of like warbled.
Yeah,
a
you're
little
right,
bit.
Miss Honey. You're right. It's
No,
it's-
there's nothing. Just like Juggernaut ain't photoshopped either. There's nothing photoshopped.
It is.
No.
What's the
All right.
scent? Where's the scent? Jack, where's the scent? What's the scent for today?
Oh, the sit. Oh, I'm sorry. I have on Nisha Nay.
Okay, come
Captain
on.
Snail good.
That's a nice
Yeah,
stripper
but-
name. That's a real good
Nice.
stripper name.
Very
Nisha
nice.
Nay. It is a unisex. It's pineapple. It's grapefruit. Middle notes is jasmine, and it
Ooh.
finishes off as an oak wood. So yeah, I got that on today. Lasts about 8
Oh,
hours.
that sounds nice. I like that.
$185 for 1.7. $285 for 3.4.
I can't afford that.
Come on, Citrus.
Oh,
I don't know how I'm gonna top that. UNC sixes, Nisha Nay Cologne.
oh, you going?
Get out of here.
Oh, I just
You
want to
going
turn my
next?
camera off.
I can go last.
Oh yeah, I'll go next. I'll go next.
Yeah, I gotta see this. 'Cause I've been wondering.
You've been wondering?
I've
All
been
right.
wondering.
I've been wondering too. Oh,
I
Oh,
ain't think of that.
let me go with your
I ain't
outfit.
think of that.
So good.
So fly
I
Jordan.
ain't think of those.
I told you you would never guess it. I
Those
told
are
you
Jordan.
I did.
You would
I
never
did
guess
that.
it. I knew you would. And Marvin has the shoe. I told you that's
I
a Marvin.
sure
You
do.
even have the
I
shoe.
got those.
But you never guessed that's what I was wearing today. Something different.
What are they called?
The Soulfly Jordan ones.
Yeah.
Oh, they're Soulfly Jordan ones.
Yeah.
Ooh, those are really nice in texture. Do they make them in a girls?
They go all the way down to size 4, I think.
Oh, it's just by the size, not the.
Yeah.
Oh,
They don't
yeah.
make a men's versus women on this. I mean, you can just
It's
buy
pretty
it in
flat though, isn't it? It's pretty
Yeah.
flat. Looks
All
more like a
Jordan
dress
ones is flat.
shoe.
All Jordan ones are, yeah.
You can dress them up or dress them down.
You can dress them up and dress them down. You can swap the laces out. Like, I mean, I just have the
Well, that's in that player.
whatchamacallit laces in, but they have red and black as well. Laces for so I wanted something to do a little different.
Oh, those are pretty cool. What you
And
got,
scent.
Jugger?
The cologne
Oh, the
today.
scent cologne.
Oh well, the scent for today is Valentino Coral Fantasy. Red apple. Red apple is the top scent in this one. Bergamot,
Ooh, bergamot.
sage,
Ooh, sage.
a little bit of tobacco leaf,
Ooh,
but not so much where it's smoky or woodsy. It's real strong on the red apple. Real strong on the red apple. So it makes it very much a citrus.
I love citrus.
Man.
Maybe even a little lavender as well. But
I
all
love
of
citrus.
Valentinos have a very similar smell. All of the notes are very similar in it, but this is the newest one, the Coral Fantasy. Yep. So that's
Nice.
the kicks for me today.
Nice.
Yeah.
What you got on Juggernaut?
what you got, Juggy?
You already
I
know.
knew it. I knew it. I couldn't get my shoe on.
Yeah, I
Stop
got
the
the
shoe.
Air Max 1s on today. So, yeah,
knew
pour those out.
I said, I was like, dude, he got some Air Maxes on. I
Yeah,
knew
when
he
he
had
said it, I
Air
said,
Maxes
yeah.
on.
And
That's
then-
good
So do you know it because of his outfit, or you know it because
Yeah,
you
he
know
knew because
him?
of the outfit.
Outfit.
The outfit.
Yep, because
Oh.
outfit.
So
Then
That's
you're
why they were
putting
trying
his
to figure
shoe
out what I
together
had
and you
on.
see his
I'm
outfit.
doing Chanel Blue today.
That's why they were trying to figure out what I had on because they were trying to guess what shoe it was based off of the outfit. So that's
Based
what
on
we
the
were saying about
outfit,
Marvin. We was like, we know he got an Air Max on based off of the outfit that he's wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so today's scent, Chanel Blue. So
Okay, very nice.
I'm
Very
sure
nice.
everybody know what this smell like, but it's a hit.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's not like light blue, is it? Light blue is by
No, it's not like light blue.
No, light blue is
I have the that's Dolce and Gabbana.
Yeah, I'm
Dustin
about to say
Gabbana.
that's DG.
Yeah, I have the body spray for that one as well with the Chanel, the blue Chanel.
This-
That's
I
one of
got
my
you too,
favorites.
but it's
I actually
upstate.
like that body spray a lot. Actually, I use body spray more than I use a cologne.
Raven said, "Thanks for the gift ideas."
Oh, yeah. We
No
got you
problem.
We got you covered. We got you covered.
I got to remember to smell your wrist and your body next time I see you to see if you're wearing the to see
Yeah.
if
You
you're
ain't got to
wearing
do
the
with,
spray
with certain fragrances. You ain't got to do that. You ain't even got to
Just
get
come
close. To
close.
smell this.
That's it.
You
Yeah.
ain't even got to get close.
This one probably gives you about 6
Smell
hours
me
on
before you see
performance,
me.
depending on how much you put on. Because if you
It's
put
2 or
too
3
much on,
sprays.
it's gonna be a headbanger. But it's about 6 hours on performance.
This 2 or 3 sprays when I'm dressed at work. In the summertime, I spray a couple of times. Once behind each leg. So when I walk past, you get that whiff, and you look up like, "What the hell was that?" Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
It's like
Somebody
that.
out here
have a
that's
little bit
smelling
behind your
good.
knees.
Yeah, a little bit behind your knees. So
Because
when
you
you
sweat
walk
there.
past,
You sweat
Yep.
there.
Oh,
So,
I know
even
that.
right
I'm a
here-
woman. I'm just surprised that you guys know that.
Even
Really?
right here. Like all your pressure
Now.
points.
I'm starting
Right
to
there,
see
yeah.
you.
Right
Like
now.
all your
Thank you.
pressure points, you put fragrance there.
Yeah.
So you sweat it, and that's what you
She
move.
said she's
most
surprised
at,
we
you're
know
gonna
that.
have
I'm starting
Oh,
to see it now, really, B.
oh, hygiene is immaculate this way.
always,
All day.
always.
Yeah. That's okay. I'm sniffing all of you when I see you. Just know that's
Sniffing
why I'm
all of
standing
us.
so close.
Sniffing all of us. So you know what, Jack, we need to go ahead and start getting some of these samples out to our subscribers. We need to get some of these samples out because we got boxes and boxes of samples and stuff. So we need to go ahead and get these samples out to our subscribers
We
or
do.
whatever. We need to go ahead and start working towards our next milestone. So again, guys, thank you all for helping us reach our 1,000
1K.
subscriber milestone. So we're real happy about that.
1K.
Thank y'all for showing up. You guys are
1K.
great. We love you all. We enjoy you all. And I guess we'll be back. Me and Really BTV are gonna try to do a true crime this week. I know we say that all the time, but I swear to God, we're gonna try to do one.
I'm
this
gonna get
week.
it done. I got faith in y'all. If not,
Yeah.
write up some.
The fellas are gonna make sure we get it done this week. We're gonna work towards that. So
You can
be
do
on the
it.
lookout for that. We're gonna try to get a case together this week and get out here for you guys. Any last words, guys?
Y'all be safe out here, man. There's a lot of diseases is roaming around in this world. Monkeypox is popping up. Y'all be safe and y'all protect yourselves. Y'all know who to be
Yeah.
around. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what not to do. Y'all make sure y'all practice safety. Really. I
Especially
promise you,
those
man.
people who
Practice
like
safety
to
every day.
run the streets, especially for
And
if
it's
you like
hot.
to run the streets.
And it's
really
hot. Make
be.
sure you smelling good outside
And stay hydrated.
and stay hydrated.
Please stay
All right,
hydrated.
ladies. Any final words?
Huh?
Congratulations again.
Thank y'all. Well, we're signing off.